Hi, my name is Ankur Shah. I was most recently the CFO of Careem, which is a ride hailing startup here in the Middle East. We operate in more than 16 countries and 100 cities around the region. We've raised north of $600 million across six funding rounds, and of course, most recently exited by partnering with Uber in 2019 to sell the business. So, an exit is an attractive and potentially even a seductive thing to think about. But the most important preparation for an exit is, of course, building an amazing business. And if you've built an amazing business that has some of the characteristics that we've talked about earlier in terms of growth, profitability, teams, then the business is likely to be an attractive exit target. But it also means that you would have picked a part of the market to operate in and build the capability to operate in that part of the market, which demonstrates a lot of growth and attractive economics 3 to 5 years out. So it's obviously very, very important to pick the right trends. And often that means picking and building the right relationships, not just in the region, but around the world, that allow you to evaluate those bets as you go along. And that also happens to be the best way to build relationships which are necessary with potential acquirers or strategic partners, where you're seen as an equal and as a thoughtful and strategic addition to their management teams, to the extent that they think about this market or your business as a potential acquisition target. So what does it mean to call the trends right? I think the most important consideration, in particular in technology-led businesses, where both technology and the underlying nature of the market is changing so rapidly, is to continue to be in the growth part of these markets. And so as we think about products that we're building or customers that we're developing, we need to make sure that in 3 to 5 years from now, those customers and those products still have a large TAM to expand into. And that creates the conditions for an attractive business 3 to 5 years out, as opposed to a business whose market is potentially declining in value as the underlying characteristics or fundamentals of the business that you're supplying to or your customer base changes. Now, the second consideration is, of course, in that business to demonstrate high growth and increasing profitability, as we discussed earlier, so that you're positioned in the most attractive part of the market with the most attractive business possible. And then lastly, with the best team that a potential acquirer can think of as a credible partner in this area. So gosh, there's almost everything that I would have thought of doing differently. I wish I had known some of these things before starting out, particularly the focus on teams, hiring the right people, building the right partnerships, not always feeling that you have the right answer, or not always feeling that you needed to have the right answer right in the beginning. And then making sure that we were much more disciplined about making some of the decisions that we did make. But of course, hindsight is 2020, and I hope this has helped in communicating some of those lessons learned.